Hi guys, I want to come on here and do a video on a dream. My son, my littlest son, woke up this morning. I came back from the bus stop and I picked him up out of his bed and let him come rest with me in the bed. And when he woke up, he just kept saying, as soon as he woke up, now he is only 4, and he was saying that Mexico was going to have a big tornado. I don't know if Mexico is going to have a tornado that's going to be devastating, or if it's representing judgment is coming upon Mexico very shortly. But I was like, sure, are you sure? Are you sure it was Mexico? He's only 4, so he doesn't just say Mexico just to say Mexico. So, and it was immediately, he rubbed his eyes and immediately just kept talking about Mexico is going to have a tornado. And yeah, and also I woke up with a dream this morning of when me and him were resting, I too had a dream, and all week I've been feeling a feeling about Israel. All week I've had this sad morning feeling for Israel. Every time I opened up my Bible, it always fell on something about Israel with destruction, or so yeah. And then the video that I posted up yesterday that my oldest son had, it's called A Story from Jesus. It was a dream he had, but he told him that Jesus was telling him like a story in his dream. But I believe that, the representation of that was directed for Israel, because it said he was talking about the apples, and Israel was the apple of God's eye. So, well, the dream that I had this morning, there was a little boy. Well, actually, it started out like it was raining, and it was very cold outside. It was raining, and I walked outside the driveway, and then the neighbor guy across the street was walking with me, and when he walked across the road, he thought it was his cat laying asleep in the road. Well, I was like, are you sure your cat's not dead, because he looks dead? And he's like, no, that's just her sleeping. So I walked up closer to the cat, and then it changed into another cat, and I was like, that's not your cat. And then all of a sudden I looked over again, and it wasn't a cat no more, it was a little boy. And I picked the little boy up, and he was cold. He was so cold, and he was wet from the rain, and I put a jacket, my jacket coat over him to cover him up because he was so cold. And I asked him, I said, what is your name, boy? And he said, my name is Micah. And then I asked him, I said, how old are you, Micah? And then he said, I am younger than 3. So I don't know what that represents. And I picked him up, and I was carrying him to go find his home where his mother was. And I walked across the street, and I seen my family member's friend, who is an older man. He's like 70. I saw his house getting broke into, and they were tearing down his gates to try to get into his house and to just steal stuff from him. And then when I walked inside, I said, okay, Micah, I said, we're going to have to go in here real quick and see what's going on, because I saw a police car out there. So I was going to ask the police officer to help me with this little boy. So when I went inside this man's house, I seen a police officer standing there. I said, ma'am, I need a police officer to help me to find this little boy's home, and he's lost. And she said, what's the boy's name? I said, his name is Micah. And then he said, the police officer lady was like, oh, that little boy, he's always lost. His mom's never home. You could just bring him back to the house. He lives down the street. And I looked, and I was like, are you serious? I'm not going to bring this kid to the house to stay alone. He said he's younger than 3 years old. Well, the lady looked at me really mad. And then when I looked over to see what was going on to the old man's house, it was a party going on. It turned into a party. It was really weird. And then we left there, and it was still raining outside. It was still dark and ugly out. Hold on. I'll be out in a minute. And then I told the little boy, I was like, you're going to go to my house and I'm going to get you some food and everything like that. So I took the little boy to my house and I fed him and everything, and then I woke up. So when I woke up, I remember hearing Micah. I just remember that was the first thing that went into my mind when I woke up, was Micah. And I've always loved that name. I've actually had a dachshund named Micah. I've actually had 3 dachshunds named Micah. I love the name Micah. I'm surprised I didn't name my children Micah. But yeah, but that was the first thing I remembered when I woke up, was Micah. So and then after I remembered the name Micah, instantly in my spirit, I heard 3:12. 3:12. So I just was like, okay, I grabbed my Bible and I opened it up to Micah. I didn't know if chapter 3, I didn't know how big Micah was in the Bible, like in page-wise, so I thought 3:12 was like, okay. So I opened it up and I looked up chapter 3 verse 12, and it said, therefore because of you Zion will be plowed like a field, Jerusalem will become a heap of rubble, the temple hill a mound overgrown with thickets. And yeah, that whole chapter 3 was called, like, about leaders and prophets rebuked and all that stuff. So I don't know. So I felt very important to share this today. So God bless you all. I pray that somebody out there has confirmation to this, in which I know that there will be confirmation, and I know that somebody will be able to interpret this, because Lord gives gifts to all His children, and there's one child or a few children who are going to be able to have the gift to interpret this dream. So God bless you guys. Pray everything is going well. Stay ready, keep yourselves clean, and stay focused on the Lord Jesus, because He can come at any day, any moment. God bless you all. I love you. Bye.